Hey everybody, Mark Masters. I just got off stage. Sorry for the delayed start at Laugh Boston. The show started 30 minutes late. I thought the timing was going to be perfect, but I just got off stage and now we have no guest. So, which is fine. I can do a solo episode if I need to, but let me see if I have this guest number, which it doesn't look like I do. So I'm just going to dash a very quick email and see if they are coming or what's going on. And let's see. 1 second here. Here we go. We are live. Are you coming? Please get on. And I will give them the link. Try and make that a little easier for them. And okay. We are live. I hope this time is right? Yeah, I'm sure this is right. I'm on the East Coast, so it's 8:30 instead of 6:30 in Colorado. But we'll fiddle through. Hey, Mark. All right, well, we got the video back. Oh, there we go. There's the message. Thanks for tuning in from North Carolina. If you have any questions, Mark, love to hear them. I just finished a like roughly 2,000-mile road trip. I went to California and Arizona, where I did 2, 4, 8, 9 shows at Stir Crazy Comedy Club, 4 each weekend, and then there was a special 4th of July clean comedy showcase, which went pretty well. Didn't sell a ton of merch. I don't know why it is, but at clean shows, I never sell a lot of merch. Kind of annoying. I think people don't drink very much, and they're a little tighter with their money for some reason. There's a lot of church folk. I don't know. Maybe they give at the church. They don't give at the comedy club. There's a lesson there. So let's work backwards. I'm in Boston right now. I was in New York City this weekend, and I went to The Stand, which is a club I've been to once before in New York City. I didn't perform. I just watched a show, and a lot of friends on the show. A lot of people I have a connection to. Sean Patton, who has been out for the Vale comedy show. Great dude. Was up second. There was a host, and then he basically took the first spot. And super funny. Kind of weird room is the upstairs room, if anybody's ever been there. It's not their main room, but it was a fun show, and the timing was good for me. Who stole the show was Jordan Jensen. Super funny. Did a great job. Also, Colin Tyrell, hope I'm saying that. Mark, I was there like 2 days ago in New York City. And who else was good on the show? There was a terrific, I think his name's Andre Kim, Asian guy, very funny. What was interesting was this was just a couple hours after Trump was shot at whatever the verbiage is on that one. And every single comic talked about it in different ways. They told jokes about, it's going great. You want to come get interviewed? The guest didn't show up. You work here at the club?
I do work here.
What do you do?
I am a box office.
Look at this. Here's a box office
Hello.
agent. Is that what you
Yes,
said? Agent. Oh, like CIA, kind of like
Yes,
spy.
very much so.
Yeah. What's the craziest customer interaction you've had since you started?
Ooh.
And by the way, online, if anybody has questions for a customer service agent or CIA agent at Laugh Boston,
Yes.
let us know.
Yes. So my name is Isadora, and I started working here about a month ago. And I think on my 4th shift, I had somebody come up. This guy. So we work right next to an Irish pub. So when people come to the show, sometimes they just come straight out the bar. They've had a few drinks. These 2 guys were very, very drunk. They were about in their 30s, I believe. And when I asked them to scan their tickets, he couldn't find it, and I was like, "Oh, well, I can look you up in the system. It's very easy. This is my job." And he was like, "No, I got it. I'm a man." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, you got it. You're
Don't
a man."
mansplain
So
to me.
Right. And so I'm like, "Okay, you got it." And then he found it, and then I checked their IDs, and I mean, these guys were very much over 21 guys, but I
Okay.
have to check everyone's IDs. And I looked at it, and I saw the age, I saw the year in which they were born, and I also saw their faces, so I gave them a wristband. And he complained, and he said, "Oh, you barely looked." And so I said, "You can take like." like, you're a man. Like, I know that you're over 21. Like, you got it. And then he told me he's actually not a man. He's transitioning into the F slur.
Uh-oh.
And then tried to proceed to get my number and it was just, it was very, that was probably
Traumatic.
the worst.
Alcohol.
And then he ended
Alcohol
up,
is a problem.
alcohol is a problem, guys. Don't
But it
drink.
also is
But it's
what
also-
fuels this club. It's what pays your
Guys,
paycheck.
drink.
So yes,
It
drink,
turns
but
out
not too
these
much.
guys went in there. Turns out my boss ended up telling me that I, as box office agent, can let in and kick out whoever I want.
Ooh.
So I could have told those guys to turn around.
You got
But
great
I didn't
power
know
now.
that. I know, and now I know my power. Turns out they went in there. They were playing with girls' drinks. They were touching people's food. They were flirting with people. They were yelling, heckling at the
Comics.
That was, you asked.
I asked. It's a great story. It's a great story. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rosadora.
What's your,
It's called Always Bookin Comedy.
okay.
And the comic who's supposed to be on is a Boston comic. I live in Colorado.
Oh, nice.
And he no-showed. So I'm doing a solo episode. I'm talking about I was in New York City this weekend. I'm talking about The Stand.
That's awesome.
I'll talk about Laugh Boston a little bit because I just got off stage. Super fun club. It's great.
It's great here. I like this job.
So I'll be on here in another 20 minutes, and then I'll ask you some more questions. We'll find out. Anything else interesting you want to share?
Interesting? No, I really like this job though.
Okay.
Yeah,
She loves her job.
I love my
Rosadora.
job.
She's going to work up the ladder. We're going to see her in a couple years. She's going to be assistant GM. She's going to be GM. She's going to own this place. There we go. Okay. All right. Incredible. So I was at The Stand, New York City, bunch of funny comics. I think I name dropped everybody that I wanted to name drop. That was fun. I did just do a 7-minute spot, which I'm kind of an idiot. I thought it was a 5-minute spot. And I found out like 20 minutes before I went on stage that it was 7 minutes. And while Rosadora was talking, I just realized that I might not be using these earbuds that are in my ears. So let me fix that. Is the sound okay? Can anybody confirm or deny if the sound is any good? Because if I get the earbuds going, the sound should be a little bit better. Good Lord. Blue tooth. And I want to go back and watch the show, but duty calls with Always Bookin Comedy. Here we go. Mark's earbuds connecting. They're connected. I have improved the sound a little bit. So real choppy connection. Chat disappeared for a bit. Okay. Yeah. I'm on the hotel lobby Wi-Fi, and I was on the club Wi-Fi, but it was too small. I also tried Xfinity Wi-Fi. Not working. Yeah, there's a show. Go in. Yeah. It's great. Going. It started like half an hour ago. It's probably got at least an hour. No, this is the only one. Go in. They'll give you. You might be able to get in for free. Here, Rosadora. How much are tickets? Can they get in? I don't know.
Sorry, we started
Okay.
about 40 minutes ago, so you could get tickets, but there were
Okay.
only like half an hour.
All right. Okay. So, yeah. All right. I was going to sell tickets. Yeah. So let's go backwards to Arizona. I did 9 shows in Arizona. That was a good time. What do I have to say about that? Did 4 weekend shows. Towards the end of the weekend, this is going to sound weird, but I got a little tired of my act, maybe, because I did 9 shows pretty quickly, and I was doing half an hour at 8 of them. And so the last weekend, or was the last day, the Saturday where I had an early and a late show, I decided to try and do different jokes in both half hours and try and make the first half hour all my clean stuff and the second half hour some dirtier stuff. And actually the early show, I cheated and repeated one joke that is related to merch. It's like a 60-second joke. But in a late show, I did a completely distinct half hour both times. And I taped them. And the goal is to maybe get cruise ship work, which is I've been researching it, and that's probably a little bit far away for me at the moment. But the goal is to eventually be able to do that no problem and have 3 total half hours. If I can have 3 half hours of completely separate material, if I need to last minute help out on some kind of cruise ship gig, I should be pretty good in that case. Let's see if we heard from this other comic. No, I might just do a short episode. Mark in North Carolina, if you have any questions, pop them in. What else can I say about Arizona? It was like 117 degrees there, no joke. And I did not the whole time, but a couple nights I slept in my car, which was interesting. Great Planet Fitnesses, by the way. If you haven't heard my whole shtick, like my thing is I try and save money by not paying for hotels, mostly to motivate myself to get better at comedy so that gigs will include lodging. And the club took great care of me. I know, I understand the situation. I'm a feature. If I get up to headliner, my lodging is covered. I'm not there yet. That's fine with me. Oh yeah, so some confusion about the stand story in New York City. I was not on the show. I wish I was on the show. I paid. I paid and bought drinks and went to the show. Stand's a pretty fancy place in New York City. Not maybe at the Comedy Cellar level, but very close. And the comics that I mentioned, Jordan Jensen's huge. She sold out 5 or 6 shows at Comedy Works downtown Denver just a couple months ago. Sean Patton, multiple, like a million Comedy Central credits. Has a new hour special on Peacock, about a year old. Really good, super funny. No, I wasn't even sniffing the stage at that show. I would have loved to have gotten on stage, but I was nowhere close to getting on stage. Um, so that's that. What else about Arizona? I feel like I had some kind of funny story about Arizona. Let me see if I can find it. This internet stinks. Let me tell you what. So Arizona. Oh, yeah, this is kind of interesting. Um, this is more a show producing thing, which I guess Always Bookin Comedy is about. For the first time ever, I produced a show without being at it. While I was in Arizona, I got offered this opportunity by a municipal government to do clean comedy at their like fair. It's like an annual fair for this town. I don't know why I'm not telling you what the town is, but for some reason it feels right in case I say something too private or I'm not supposed to share. Uh, I'm just going to leave out where it is. But it was town, it was a good paycheck, and I really wanted the gig, but I was already booked at this comedy club 1,000 miles away in the Phoenix, Arizona metro area. So I booked 2 comics to do the show instead of me and just was the middleman. And I made decent money. I paid the comics very decent money. And the client, the town was very happy. So everything worked out. There was I had a panic attack because the comics were late show start time, which wasn't really their fault because it was a holiday weekend and mountain driving is a nightmare. But it was kind of their fault too, which reflects on me. It was also my fault. I could have told them, hey, you have to be at the show an hour early. Um, uh, Potential for business. Like if I can run one show where I'm not at, I could run 100 shows that I'm not at. I can only be at one show at a time, but this, I don't know that I really want to do that. It was a hassle, but I don't think this guy's gonna make it, and that's a real shame because I'm in Boston. This guy is from Boston, and I don't know what happened to him, but he missed his opportunity. We're now booking like a little behind the scenes. The people I'm scheduling for this podcast or whatever it is, we're scheduling October at this point, and it's the middle of July, so it's pretty far out. So I don't think I'm even going to try and reschedule this comic. I'll change the title and fix it up. I don't know. Maybe I can tell one more interesting story before I get out of here. I just went on stage, and one thing I did was I added a like word to a joke that I've been telling for like a year. And I was like, you know, every time I get on stage, I want to do something a little bit different. And this was not the highest stakes. I have a very high stakes thing coming up in a couple weeks at Comedy Works. I have a contest. I have to do 5 minutes, and this would be part of that 5 minutes. So I tried this new word, and I don't think it went so great. Didn't go great. So I'm not going to use that extra word, which is, I'm glad I tried it here instead of on stage at Comedy Works. And I think that's about it. I saw Patton Oswalt at Comedy Works in Denver. That was interesting. So I think I'm just gonna wrap this up. A lot of fun. Very short episode, solo episode from Boston about Arizona. Yeah, I also did a very long road trip, which I'm not sure I talked about, but I drove all the way to California to San Diego, did 3 shows, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then started driving up the coast, was in San Francisco, went to LA, did a show with Eliza Schlesinger. Crazy. She's got multiple Netflix specials. It was really an honor to be on that show. Then went up to San Francisco for a night, and then worked my way up. Made it the next weekend, was in Medford, Oregon. Did a weekend of shows there. Then went across east to Eastern Washington, but stopped in Seattle. Did an open mic that at a club where the club owner booked me the very next night, which was awesome. So filled some time that way, and had my weekend in Eastern Washington, and then drove all the way back down to Colorado. It was 3,000 or 4,000 miles. It was a lot of driving, but beautiful, really fun. And I would say that the highlight of the whole trip was I went about an hour out of my way to go to Haystack Rock, I think it's called. It's the end of Goonies, when the pirate ship comes out and there's those 3 big rocks in the ocean. I forget the name of the beach. I feel like it has a G in it. It's in Oregon. It's near Astoria. It's just south of Astoria, Oregon, which is where the Goonies was filmed. Just stunningly beautiful, really cool. And that's one of the fun things about going around this country and telling jokes is I'm only on tonight. I was on stage for 7 minutes, but I had all day to do stuff. I went whale watching. I went to see. I saw whales. I saw actual humpback whales. It was very, very cool. So having a good time. It's fun. I don't like it when guests don't show up, but what are you gonna do? I confirmed with him like 2 days ago, and he said he was gonna be here. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. I'm gonna go back inside, watch this show here at Laugh Boston. Feel bad that I missed a couple of sets, but thank you everybody for tuning in and listening, and come back next Monday. We do this every Monday, 6:30 Mountain Time. It's 5:30 in California, 8:30 on the East Coast. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.